Ah yes, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well, friend, I really do hope that. Here we cover Chelsea Football Club, that's right, Chelsea, a club who have secured Premier League status for next season at least. And hopefully forevermore. And welcome back to Chelsea News. That's right, the daily series where we cover or react to what's being said around the media, the headlines. I give you my opinion on it, more importantly asking for yours. What's going on with Mauricio Pochettino? Why has he not put pen to paper? We're going to read a little bit about him and see if we can decipher what's going on there. And also, I have a couple of transfer questions really for you guys, the viewers. That would be really interesting to hear what the fans have to say. This video is brought to you by the best companion app out there, OneFootball. Ding, 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 ding. What a sensual, excellent banner below me. Look at that, Chelsea blue. It's just lovely stuff. It's great stuff. OneFootball is completely free, gives you everything you need when covering all football, but obviously Chelsea, as many of you will be wanting to know about Chelsea, transfers, statistics from games, lineups, everything, basically everything, and it's free, it's streamlined, it's very good. So click the link in the top of the description, do yourself that little favour, and go check out OneFootball now. It's just a click at the top of the description. Alright, let's get into it. So, where to start? Should we start on Poch or transfers? Let's just do a little bit on transfers because there's a couple of players I want to talk about. One is Mateo Kovacic. Of course, been not in great form. He's going into the final 12 months of his contract. He's 28 years old. He's let's have it right, mate, a silky baller, as the kids would say. Very good footballer, starts for Croatia. He's played for Inter, Real Madrid, as well as Chelsea, of course, winning the Champions League and Europa League with Chelsea, the Chelsea. And loads of teams want him. Manchester City's Pep Guardiola wants him, and now Newcastle United are also interested in Mateo Kovacic. And hot dog, you can understand why any team in the world would want Mateo Kovacic. He's strong, he's direct in terms of ball carrying, he's got the odd goal in him, and for a while, spoiler by the way, I'm going to talk about briefly Lukaku after this, it looked like he knows how to feed a striker. He got like a couple of assists to Lukaku and a few more like really promising through balls to him. So who knows, should we actually get a striker next season, he could be a really useful midfielder. But, he's a majestic dribbler. He dribbles like Eden Hazard, like I always say. When he wore the number 17 prior to taking the number 8 shirt, I believe he wears right now, he looked like, because he has the same sort of physique as Hazard, relatively small, stocky, diminutive with a big booty, he dribbles like him. And with that number 17, when I used to watch him play live, I was like, it looks like Hazard. Anyway, he's not been great recently, but it's difficult to judge him as it is difficult to judge any players at the moment at Chelsea because we're such a circus that no one's really living up to their potential apart from like the sort of hard sprinters and grafters like your Kantés, like your Conor Gallaghers, etc. Although, Madueke is challenging that with his sort of trickery and, really conventional winger play, which is nice to see. What do you think about Mateo Kovacic? We've got so many midfielders. We'll almost certainly sell an academy graduate for the books, whether that's Mason Mount, which would be for a lot of money, whether it's Conor Gallagher, which would be for quite a lot of money, as in not as much as Mason Mount, or Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and he'll probably go anyway, for a little bit of money, you'd assume. Now, Kovacic is on relatively high wages, over probably what their new ownership want to do for the basic, and obviously he doesn't have a contract where he gets paid less not being in the Champions League, which the new guys have. So getting his wages off the books, getting a transfer fee for him, and generally bringing the age down in the midfield. I know he's still technically in his prime at 28 going on 29. I believe that's his age. I mean, he'd go to Newcastle and be excellent. He'd go to Man City, he'd be amazing. And these are two state-backed clubs with the money to buy him. And, we could, even though he's got 12 months left on his deal, if we get our money back for a guy with 12 months left on his deal, say £40 million, that is tempting. And considering we're going to have young Andre Santos coming in, considering, you know, we might loan Chukwuemeka, but there's so many, like, talented players that we could bring through. I don't know. I really want to get your thoughts on Mateo Kovacic and selling him. So make sure you do comment down below. I'm very interested in reading the fan opinion on that. And explain why as well. Show your working. And yeah, let's move on. So before we do talk about Pochettino and why he's not our manager. Oh yeah, by the way, quick reminder, please do drop a like on the video. Takes a millisecond. Some people skip the beginning of the YouTube videos because that's when the content creator asks them to like. But hey, I got you 5 minutes in. So please do like the video, it takes a second, and thank you for subscribing. The next one, of course, before we talk about Poch, is Romelu Lukaku, who remains to be in, perhaps not scintillating form, but very good form. Bearing in mind, he stank up for a long period at Inter, and now he's come alive, getting like, you know, I think he got a goal in the last game against Roma. I think he played very well against Roma. I didn't watch it, but certainly, you know, stats, websites and applications, and indeed headlines are suggesting that he did play very well. The previous game, he got a couple of assists. I think the game before that, he might not have got anything, but the game before, he got like a goal and 2 assists or something. The dude is cooking. And for a Chelsea fan's perspective, no matter which way this goes, this is perfect timing for us. It's better that he does it now in like the final games of the season before the transfer window than starting the season like that and being quiet for the remainder of the campaign. So he's ending in form rather than starting in form, which I know he scored in his first game back, but he had like a stinker for a long time. It suits us. Chelsea need a number 9. I was saying on this channel, certainly have been recently, that I danced around it for a long time. I didn't think we necessarily needed a conventional 9, especially after Lukaku version 1. But Tuchel, for all his great qualities, didn't really handle Lukaku very well. Now, yes, Lukaku can be a massive pen 15. Put those together. Shout out to you, man, who used to say that at school and thought it was funny. He absolutely can be. And, make no bones about it, he disrespected Chelsea Football Club. Even like if he didn't know what he was doing, I don't know, man. He's an idiot, like he is. And he can play some stinky ass football. But at the same time, if you get Romelu Lukaku cooking, he is one of the best strikers in the world. Like, people don't want to hear it, and it's, you know, when he is playing bad and his touch betrays him and it looks like he's wearing Timberlands. Right now he's playing well, but those 2 seasons at Inter, dude was unstoppable. He was lean, he was looking like a top 3 striker in the world. We paid the fee that would dictate a top 3 striker in the world for him. And lest we forget, he is our player. We own him. There's a striker playing well who's, you know, I don't know, man. I want to put it out to you guys because him playing well now, maybe at most we might be able to send to Inter for absolutely nothing, like 30, 40 million pounds. That's put stretch. Maybe 30, or euros, maybe 30 million. Or they'll take another loan again. They couldn't afford to take him on another loan, but now he's playing well. Maybe they'll consider another loan and think we can win the Scudetto with him. And, you know, Napoli might sell Osimhen or sell someone, and we could challenge for the Scudetto with an in-form Lukaku again. Maybe they're thinking that. And with that, they'll maybe loan him, or we just cut our losses. And, you know, even though we spent £98 million on him, we sell him 2 years later for 30 million, which is just sickening. But it's just part of the. I think Bowley, Egbali, you know, Clear Lake, they understood that there was some losses to be made. I just want to ask the question, man, because, you know, if you can't buy Osimhen and Kane. You know, that Atalanta kid that we've been linked to, I looked at his stats. I was like, why is this the answer? This kid who scored like 6 or 7 goals in Serie A. Like, is that the answer? And again, big transfer fee, and like, yes, he's young, so you can put him on the structure, but we've got a young, talented striker in Armando Bria who's not going on loan. Datro Fofana will probably go on loan. So we still need that, like, experienced senior number 9. Could you just say to Lukaku, don't be a knobhead, don't say anything, the fans probably won't like you until you start scoring loads of goals. Do you want to crack at it under Pochettino? See what he says. Let me know what you think, and let's speak about the aforementioned, because I've just said it, but the mentioned Mauricio Pochettino. Right, it's going to be a long video, I'm afraid. Mauricio Pochettino meeting revealed as Chelsea blown away amid Tottenham plea. So the Tottenham fans, understandably, want Poch back. This is an article written by Tom Coley on Football.London. Let's see together what is being said. Mauricio Pochettino is still closing in on becoming the next Chelsea manager. Football.London understands. Pause. Also, Fabrizio Romano explains how it is close. It's the final details of the contract, the clauses, which I would assume is the kind of stuff that if you sack him, like Graham Potter, you don't have to pay out the 5 years contract or whatever. I mean, that's just one of many things, I'm sure. And also how much control he would have on transfers and the project. But the process is continuing to leave fans uncertain. Frank Lampard prepares to oversee his 7th game. Of course, that was yesterday, which, by the way, he won. The Argentine has held positive talks with the Blues in the past 2 weeks, but negotiates his own contract without an agent, which is, at first, that the fact that he hasn't got an agent, everyone thought it would go really quickly, but apparently not. And has also got a quartet of fundamental staff to bring with him. Of course, we've spoken about said staff here on the channel before. He also likes to work on their appointments first. It is making the thorough and exhaustive process of finding their 3rd manager in 12 months exactly that. Well, I'd rather they take their time than rush it. There is little reason to rush, there we go, either. Chelsea have nothing to play for this season, and won't be immediately replacing Lampard with Pochettino, even if he was to be announced. The longer the wait goes on, though, the more restless fans are getting. Yes, true, and that's what's happening with me. I still maintain that announcing him will do more good than bad, even for Frank, because Frank knows someone else is coming. It's not like, what, you're replacing me? He knows that, and players will be like, oh, sugar, suddenly I've got to fix up because I've got to impress this new guy, you know? There is a worry that Real Madrid could make a move for the 51-year-old should Chelsea and Pochettino stall in talks, especially with the future of Carlo Ancelotti still far from clear despite his defiance that he will be seeing out the final year of his deal. Also in the mix, as the prospect of a return to Tottenham, Spurs fans have been clamouring for a comeback ever since he was sacked in 2019 and felt the dismissal of Antonio Conte opened up the chance of their dreams becoming a reality. Daniel Levy and Joe Lewis are yet to take any steps towards that though, thank God. I mean, I didn't think I'd be here, but here I am, thanking God that we can get Poch and not Tottenham. But like, it makes sense. We've all digested it. We've all breathed in the air of analysis and and what's happened to us this season. And now it does seem like something that makes sense that we want to hold on to. And of course, they've set their signs on Julian Nagelsmann, Vincent Kompany, which we had as well, apparently. And interestingly, Xabi Alonso. Although it seems Pochettino won't be back in the hot seat in North London anytime soon, the desire to see him on the touchline for other clubs may well be the kick for both parties after Chelsea to get over the line. Okay, I can't speak English. If not, then a report from The Independent may well make a difference. It is said Real Madrid's president, Florentino Perez, who was a massive Pen 15, is still keen on Pochettino, having tried to lure him to the Spanish capital previously. Of course, Mauricio Pochettino has coached in La Liga before. I think it was La Liga when he was a Espanyol coach. Surely they were a top division team. But so as a rival of Barcelona, he would never go to Barcelona, but he's always been theoretically open to go to Real Madrid. And why wouldn't he be? Because, it's Real Madrid. It is Chelsea that stand in prime position to make the deal happen, with Todd Boehly said to be blown away by how perfect Pochettino is for the role. But, no, I'm not one of these people that's going to jump on the bandwagon for, hating Todd Boehly. I think he is intelligent, and I think he is doing a lot of the right things, despite this disaster we find ourselves in. There's mistakes that have been made, but I think the intentions are there, and for that reason I refuse to get on this guy's back. But but at this point, with my experience of what I've seen, Todd Boehly being blown away by something doesn't like imbue me with confidence. Like, you know, I don't know, man. You know, give him a few more years in the Premier League, and he'll be less blown away by certain things, I imagine. His previous experience in high maintenance environments, mixed with his proven ability to rebuild, work with young players, and within a defined club hierarchy, all make him a standout candidate. And then it goes on to talk about how Tottenham-related people want him back in North London. So, Fabrizio Romano has also said, I've seen this like YouTube video, so I might as well cite it here and forward the information to you guys, that not only is Todd Boehly blown away by Poch also is reportedly incredibly excited at the prospect of managing Chelsea. And you can kind of get that, because the only way is up. My glasses have been wonky the whole time. Because the only way is up, so he doesn't necessarily look bad. And also, it's just an amazing squad to work with. An amazing young squad, you know. It doesn't really suit like an Antonio Conte. Well, it probably will suit an Antonio Conte, because we've got amazing wing-backs. We own Lukaku. He bloody loves Lukaku. We know that much. And we've got good centre-backs. And he'll just play Kante and Enzo. So we've got an amazing starting 11 for Conte, but Conte likes senior, older players and winners. He likes to buy in winners, put them together, and then win, which is fair enough. It works, you know. But Poch works with young players and develops them, and we have got a lot of young players that need to be developed. So that kind of makes sense that he would want that. Anyway, Poch wants Chelsea, Chelsea wants Poch, and the deal is being ironed out. Maybe this is speculation. Could be even like basically done behind the scenes and they've both agreed. Maybe the pre-agreement's been signed. That's not me reporting or reacting to a report. That's speculation and guesswork. But let me know what you think. Make sure you comment down below. I'll be very interested in reading the comments from this video. There's a lot of stuff that I'm interested in. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and do go check out OneFootball simply by clicking the link and the top of the description. One love.